Welcome back to Blossom Schoolhouse. Today's video is a big homeschooling book haul. I have a collection of books here that I've gathered for our summer basket, and some of them are just books that I've had on my list for a while, and I'm going to take you through them all now and show you inside. So this is our summer reading basket. The idea that I had was to grab a basket and just fill it with educational, living books for the girls to sit and read and learn over the summer. I wanted to make sure that I had a wide variety of educational books, so I put some geography ones in here, some history, there's nature, there's a lot going on in this basket. So let's take a look at what we have got inside. First up, I've included these nature readers from the Good and the Beautiful library. Now, I love any book that I purchase from the Good and the Beautiful, and these are no exception. The third nature reader can actually be used alongside the level 2 language arts, and the second nature reader can be used along with the level 1. But these can just be used as a standalone nature book, which is what my children have been using them for already. They are full of these really sweet illustrations, and they just cover such a huge variety of different things that you would find in nature. So I'm so glad to be including these in our summer reading basket. Next is this Dr. Seuss book, There's a Map on My Lap. I love anything Dr. Seuss. We have so many of his books already. And when I saw that they had the Cat in the Hat Learning Library, I straight away went and searched for different titles and saw this geography one. And I was specifically looking for geography books to add to this summer reading basket. So, of course, I purchased this one. I got it on World of Books, secondhand. It was about £4 maybe. And since buying this book, I've actually purchased the whole Cat in the Hat Learning Library. Moving on, we have this Bedtime Math book. I actually saw this recommended by a friend, and when I saw that it was a storybook that featured math problems, I thought it was just a brilliant idea. Any extra math is welcome in our home. There's these really fun pictures in here, and then it looks like there's some silly stories that then have a math problem, and you can actually select a math problem depending on your child's age. They have a small wee ones, a little ones, and a big kids option, which I thought was a really good idea. So the book can be used for multiple children, different ages and different levels in math. The next book in our basket is this Everything Kids geography book. So we've got another geography book here. I couldn't actually see inside this book before purchasing, so I didn't know what to expect. I got this on World of Books secondhand as well. And it's basically an activity book. It's all black and white, there's not much colour, but there are fun activities, lots of facts about lots of different places around the world, geographical facts and information. There's fun little word searches and activities and games throughout. So I thought it'd be a good fun addition to put inside our basket and for the girls to pull out and maybe learn a bit more of geography. Now, I love these Let's Read and Find Out science books, and these three have been in my Amazon basket for a long time, let's just say that. And so I finally went ahead and grabbed them. They are really great for any science studies or just to sit and read and teach your children different things. My kids constantly have questions about everything. So sometimes if I have a book for a question that they are asking, I will pull it out. And these are just the perfect sort of books for the type of questions that they would ask me. There's always a really engaging story, lots of cool pictures that explain whatever is being taught in the book. And I feel like the pictures just make it come to life a bit more for children when they're explaining a specific scientific thing that they're trying to understand. So I'm always excited to add more of these science books to our book baskets, bookshelves, you name it. I'm always excited to add these books to our home. Okay, moving on. This is the Tales of the Kingdom. I actually saw this book mentioned in another book that I was reading, which was called M is for Mama. Highly recommend, by the way. Great book for motherhood. And she recommended this book and talked about some of the higher moral values and character traits in the book. And that's enough for me to then look into a book, and after looking into it, I decided to add it to our home library. So it's got beautiful illustrations, which again I'm always a sucker for. And yeah, I'm just excited actually to read a few of the tales in this book. I know the girls will love it. They love anything fairy tale, princess, kingdom type, so I'm sure they and I will love it. Next up is this Wild About British History. We actually love the author Miles Kelly. We've got lots of books from this author, and this one I actually spotted at a recent field trip to Hever Castle, and it was about £18, so I jumped on Amazon quickly and found it for £8, so I was very happy about that. And I just love the layout of these books. I love that you just have these tiny little snippets of information. The whole book is sort of divided into different stages of British history, and there's just these great pictures in here. There's fun facts throughout, little true or false boxes as well, which I think is quite fun for children. And like I said, I've got quite a few of these books covering different sort of science, and so I'm quite excited to have a history one. I'm thinking of actually adding this to our morning basket as well, so I've got it in our summer reading basket at the moment, and then I think we might go through the book reading one tiny portion a day in our morning time. I love books for just adding in extra history or geography in our morning time, so this will be perfect. Okay, a Christian book now. This is the Gospel. This is such a brilliant tool for explaining the gospel, teaching the gospel, making it clear. It has quite different illustrations actually, which I think are quite cool. And the story is so simple yet so important, and it just ensures that your child actually understands what the gospel is. There's also scriptures all across the bottom. So you can either just read the story all the way through, or you can read the story alongside the scripture if you've got older children, which I think is a really good idea as well. And we loved it. We've absolutely loved this book. I'm going to read it over and over because we could always do with being reminded of the gospel. Definitely a top recommendation from me. Now this one is probably my favourite World of Books secondhand find. This is a children's introduction to the world, and I know I keep saying it, but the illustrations in this book are my favourite, especially like the maps. I always love when there are illustrated maps that are really child friendly, that have labels and pictures and lots going on for them to see and really get a good grip on geography, the layout of countries and places. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. In particular, I'm definitely going to be using the United Kingdom and Europe pages for our geography studies this coming year as well. So really excited about this one. Definitely one of my favourite finds. Here we have now a summer picture book. This is Wild Summer Life in the Heat. This is actually the fourth book we've purchased from this author, and the other three are the other seasons. And we adored the other three books, so I know that we're going to love this one. This is a true living book. So what that means is it is an engaging story that draws the child in and teaches them about a particular subject. So for example, this is teaching about the season summer, so the sort of wildlife you'd expect to see and plant life. So children are unwittingly learning a ton whilst just being read a simple story. These three books are also a recommendation from a friend. They are If You Were a Noun, If You Were a Verb, and If You Were an Adjective. So another living type book here. They are books that tell a story, but whilst telling the story, they're explaining what a verb or an adjective or a noun actually is and how they're used in sentences and even in stories, because it is a story itself. So I think it's a really clever concept and a very good way of explaining the concept to children. We also use grammar tales for this purpose. They're also another great selection of books. Definitely check them out. These were all secondhand on Amazon, so I just got them on Amazon used. Grammar tales, I will have a look for and see if I can find a link for those too. But very, very useful books to have in your homeschooling library. Okay, featuring last in the summer reading basket are these 4 books that were kindly sent to us from Scholastic, and they are The Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch, Somebody Woke Wilson, The Unicorn Who Came to Breakfast, and lastly, When Ice Cream Had a Meltdown. That's the end of our book haul. So this is where I've been keeping our summer reading basket. It's totally accessible to the girls, and we just pull it out, read a couple of books on the sofa together, or it's there for them to grab and read alone and independently if they choose to. If you're still here, I just want to say thank you for watching.